God bless you. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. It is beautiful outside and it has been raining so much. So I'm grateful to be out here and sharing this beauty of God's creation with all of you. So I want to talk a little bit here in 1 Thessalonians 4 and 5 about the coming of the Lord. And you've heard me say my thoughts on the rapture. You've heard me say my thoughts on the tribulation and God's wrath, that I think the tribulation and God's wrath, I think that they're two different things in Scripture. I want to focus in particular, and I would go back if I were all of you and start at 1 Thessalonians 4 verse 13 and then go to 5 verse 11. But I want to share a particular verse from 1 Thessalonians 5 verse 3. It says this: when they say there is peace and security, then sudden destruction will come upon them as labor pains upon a pregnant woman, and there will be no escape. So the reason that I want to share that, and I've talked about that before, but why mention when they say there is peace and security? Why mention that? Why would we even talk about that if it didn't matter? See, it doesn't make sense if things are circus time, bunnies, kittens, rainbows, flowers, let the good times roll. If things are wonderful, why would anyone be interested in what the Antichrist has to say? Why? If he's just some guy who has some answers, but things are fantastic and it's root beer and ice cream sundaes and barbecue and rainbows and sunny days, and if it's all glorious and wonderful, why would anyone care what he has to say? But you've heard me mention that it talks about Satan is in control of this planet, and so to get people to follow him, then you know it makes sense that things have to happen for him to have the answers to get people to follow him. So we're heading into a time, it has to be, it's the only way that it makes sense logically, where things are not good. It won't be sunshine and rainbows and kitties and puppies and root beer and ice cream. It'll be awful. And he has the answers, and that's why people have to follow him. And so when it says there's peace and security, when he says, hey, there's peace and security, follow me, I will restore you to the kitties and the puppies and the rainbows and the root beer and the ice cream and the barbecue. See, there's a reason that that is in there. And so I think as things decline, as things progress, as things get bad, then he's going to have the answers, and that's why people will go to him. Because they're not going to follow him if things are good. That there would be no reason to follow just some random person if your life is good, if you can pay your mortgage, if you can pay your car payment, if you can eat, if you can get groceries. I mean, it doesn't make any sense logically. So I don't know if you're aware that the UN, that they have sort of a theme. And so if you go on their website under their work, it talks about peace and security. And under their chapter 7, it will say in the UN Charter that they can take action to enforce, to restore international peace and security. I'm not saying the UN is a part of this, although it very well could be. I'm just saying when we look at everything that is happening in the world with inflation, and it's not just this country. I think this country, because of the wealth, I think that this country maybe has things a little bit better than other parts of the planet. But it doesn't make any sense to me that things would be good and that people would follow him if things were good. Things have to be bad. That's the only way this all makes sense. And so that's why I wanted to share that verse with you from 1 Thessalonians in chapter 5, where they say, when there is peace and safety, when they say there's peace and security, then sudden destruction will come upon them. Who is saying there's peace and security? Could those be the words of the Antichrist, who says, come here, there's peace, there's security, you'll have food, you can feed your kids, etc. I don't think there's any way any of this makes sense unless things get bad, and we're certainly are on a snowball rolling down a hill. It seems like the momentum is picking up and there's no turning back. Armor up, we ride at dawn. May God bless you as always. Have a great day.